The studio lights at this morning had a way of making everything feel brighter than real life, like even the smallest stories could sparkle under their glow. And on that particular winter morning, the conversation had drifted into a place everyone in the audience knew well: Christmas presents. Laughter echoed softly across the set as Dermot O'Leary leaned forward in his chair, curiosity dancing in his eyes. Beside him, Kat Deeley smiled with that familiar mix of warmth and mischief, like she was about to reveal something she probably shouldn't. "Go on," Dermot teased. "There must have been one gift that made you go, really." Kat paused, her lips curling into a grin that hinted at a memory both fond and faintly ridiculous. "Oh, there was," she said, her voice carrying just enough drama to pull everyone in. "One year, I got a slow cooker." The audience burst into laughter before she even finished the sentence. Dermot blinked. "No." "Yes," Kat nodded, laughing now. "A slow cooker. For Christmas. And who," Dermot pressed, already knowing this was going to be good, "gave you that?" Kat tilted her head slightly, her expression softening just a touch. "My husband," she said. Somewhere beyond the cameras, someone gasped playfully. Because her husband wasn't just anyone, he was Patrick Kielty, the charming, quick-witted presenter known for lighting up the Late Late Show with humor and heart. And yet, even he, like so many partners around the world, had once made a very human miscalculation. Years earlier, long before that story became a source of studio laughter, the moment itself had unfolded in the quiet intimacy of Christmas morning. Their home had been filled with the soft glow of fairy lights, the scent of pine from the tree mingling with freshly brewed coffee. Wrapping paper littered the floor in cheerful chaos, and the gentle hum of holiday music drifted through the air. Kat sat cross-legged near the tree, a neatly wrapped box in her hands. Across from her, Patrick watched with an expression that was equal parts excitement and nervous anticipation. "Go on," he encouraged, trying, and failing, to sound casual. Kat smiled, brushing her fingers over the ribbon before pulling it loose. She peeled back the paper slowly, savoring the moment the way she always did. Christmas, for her, wasn't about extravagance. It was about thoughtfulness, about feeling seen. Inside the box was a slow cooker. There was a brief, almost invisible pause. The kind of pause only someone deeply in tune with emotion would notice. But Kat was a professional. Years in television had taught her how to recover in a heartbeat. She looked up, her smile perfectly in place. "Yay," she said brightly. Patrick beamed, relief washing over him. "I thought you'd like it," he said. "You're always so busy, and I figured, something practical, you know. Easy dinners, less stress," and the truth was, his reasoning made sense. Just not in that moment. Because while Kat appreciated the intention, what she had quietly hoped for, what she hadn't said out loud but had imagined, was something different. Something a little more personal. A piece of jewelry, maybe. Something she could wear and think of him. But instead, she held a kitchen appliance. Still smiling, still gracious. Because love, she knew, wasn't measured in perfect gifts. Years passed, as they always do, quickly and quietly, marked by milestones that somehow felt both ordinary and extraordinary. Their love story. 9 months later, they were married. And not long after that, their world expanded in the most beautiful way, with the arrival of their 2 sons, Milo and James. Parenthood brought its own rhythm. Busy mornings, school runs, bedtime stories whispered in dimly lit rooms. And through it all, the quiet, steady partnership that had become the foundation of their life together. The slow cooker, as it turned out, found its place in that rhythm. It sat on the kitchen counter, unassuming at first. But over time, it became part of their daily life. Warm meals simmering slowly while the family went about their day. The scent of home-cooked food greeting them in the evening. It wasn't glamorous, but it was useful. And in its own unexpected way, meaningful. Back in the studio, Kat shook her head as she finished the story, laughter still lingering in her voice. "I do love it now," she admitted. "I use it all the time." But at the time, she raised an eyebrow. "It wasn't really what I wanted." Dermot laughed. "I mean, I'm with you. That's a bold Christmas move. Exactly, Kat said. You can't really go wrong with jewelry, can you? The audience murmured in agreement. But there was no bitterness in her words. Only amusement. Because time had softened the edges of that moment, turning it into something they could laugh about together. That's what happens in long relationships. The awkward moments don't disappear, they evolve. They become stories. Later that year, far from the studio lights and the laughter of a live audience, the family found themselves in the sun-drenched beauty of France. It was summer, and everything felt slower. Golden light stretched across the landscape. Cicadas hummed in the background. The air carried the scent of lavender and warm stone. Their holiday unfolded in small, perfect moments. Mornings began with quiet workouts beside their luxury accommodation, the world still half asleep around them. The boys ran barefoot across the grass, their laughter ringing out in the open air. Afternoons were for exploring, wandering through markets, discovering hidden corners, sharing simple meals that somehow tasted better under the French sun. And in the evenings, as the sky turned shades of pink and gold, Kat would sit on a terrace with a glass of wine in hand, watching the world slow down. Patrick would join her, slipping into the chair beside her with that same easy presence he'd always had. Still thinking about that slow cooker? He teased one evening, a playful glint in his eye. Kat laughed, shaking her head. You're never going to live that down, are you? Probably not, he admitted. But in my defense, it was a good one. It was, she conceded. Eventually, they sat in comfortable silence for a moment, the kind that only comes with years of knowing each other. You know, Patrick said softly, I almost got you something else that year. Kat turned to him. Oh, yeah, jewelry, actually. He smiled faintly. But I thought, maybe something practical would mean more. She studied him for a second, then reached over and took his hand. It did, she said gently. Just not in the way you expected. He laughed, squeezing her hand. Fair enough. Love, as they had learned, wasn't about always getting it right. It was about showing up. Again and again, sometimes with the perfect gift. Sometimes with a slow cooker. And sometimes with nothing more than a shared laugh over a memory that had once been awkward, but had since become part of the story they were still writing together. Because in the end, it wasn't the gift that mattered most. It was the life built around.